Happy Friday, everybody. Good evening. Hope your week been good. Hope everything been solid for you. You know what I'm saying? Hope your month starting off fire, great, amazing, unbelievable, however you want to put it. I just wanted to post a quick video real quick, chop it up with all my friends, family, and whomever. So let me ask you a question. If you had a tree and you saw that it was dying, the leaves were turning brown, it looked like it was getting weak, would you paint the leaves? Or would you start checking the roots? Of course, you would check the roots. The reason why I bring that up is because a lot of us are going through life. We're spending our entire lives just addressing the leaves and not the roots. We're addressing the leaves and not the roots. And that's how you can be stuck, because ultimately, a root cause, basically a root cause is saying, what's the source of the problem? What's the source of the issue? That's what you want to identify, the root cause. So the moment that you start to think time to look eternally, that's what I would address as the roots. The eternal is your roots. Whatever's external that you're pointing the fingers at as the issue or the problem, it's not really the issue or the problem. For example, we tend to, and I'm including myself, we tend to point the finger at our boss. We tend to point the finger at, the teachers. We point the fingers at the kids, your environment, your spouse, your significant other. We point the finger at everybody else, but we don't never take a moment to look at our part in the cycle that, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't look eternally, meaning your behavior, your mindset, your actions, your reactions. And until we deal with the internal, then nothing outwardly will change. So, like, if you was to ask yourself, what problems do I keep facing? Like, what issues keep popping up that I keep dealing with? And then ask yourself, the second part of that question is, what's my part in it? What's my mindset in these situations? What's my reaction in these situations? What's my response? What am I doing that's contributing to the cycle of this problem, this issue? What am I doing that's feeding this particular issue, this particular problem, whatever you want to call it, this obstacle, whatever you want to call it? And once you identify what you're doing in that situation, that is what we would define as the root. That is the root cause to the issue. So that's just where the real work begins, is identifying the root, identifying your part in the situation that you keep experiencing. And a lot of people have been talking about, if you're on the internet a little bit or a lot of people currently are talking about this thing, the Great Lock-In. And I just want to top it up with y'all a little bit about that as well, because I think that it may be perceived that this is supposed to be this big accomplishment. This is supposed to be this massive push for overnight success, if you will. But I believe that it's not about the huge, massive accomplishment. For a lot of us, if you're participating, and if you're not, whatever the case may be, you may have already started it, because technically it began September 1st. But even if you're a few days in, wherever you are, if you've never heard of it, essentially what I would like to say about the Great Lock-In is that I believe it's more about the small victories. I believe it's more about replacing bad habits with good habits. I think that this time period that we're in, wherever you are in life, this could be a spark for you to say, let me start focus on those small disciplines and choose progress over excuses. Because ultimately, I believe that the daily wins that you get during this season will end up compounding into a future you possibly couldn't have imagined. And it's just those small steps that we tend to overlook or to continue to put off, that I believe down the road, if you start taking those steps, those baby steps, even if you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. Can't crawl, scoot. You know what I'm saying? Like, wherever you at, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna just end it with this, don't just address the leaves in your life. Address the roots. Address your internal. Address your mindset. Address your behaviors. And I believe that if we continue to do that on a daily basis, we're not shooting for perfection, but we're going for progression. The more we continue to do that, I believe that those small disciplines will end up building into the life that you really want. So I just wanted to drop that on your timeline. Shout out to y'all. All love. No pressure.